Hey guys, it's Brandon. Welcome to this almost live Blitz game. Um, I wasn't recording this game. I played it just a couple minutes ago, but I wish I was because I managed to take down my first titled player ever that I'm aware of in a 5-minute or otherwise game. I took down Stelvio, a woman grandmaster, with a 5-minute auto pairing rating of 1876, which is pretty low for someone who's a women's grandmaster. So clearly not the strongest Blitz player, maybe, on the server for someone of that title. And actually, my rating is 1914, so I guess theoretically I was the favorite in this game. But still a titled player, a women's grandmaster, a very strong chess player. And I thought I'd do a little victory lap here to celebrate this milestone in my chess playing career, I guess. So I opened with 1d4. I had the white pieces, and she went with the King's Indian defense. And I've been playing this h3 bishop g5 setup as black, which was recommended by John Watson in his book Strategic Opening Chess Repertoire for White. There's some interesting points to it. One is that well, first of all, the e5 isn't really possible because of takes, queen takes, and now this knight is attacked, which is pinned to the rook, and I'm threatening to grab this pawn and win this rook in the corner. So e5 immediately is not possible. So they have to prepare with knight d7 here. But even after a move like knight c6, knight f3, e5, and stuff like this, so they kick the bishop away. If black plays too quickly for f5, the pretty standard King's Indian type of break, white can play this move g4, and if black insists on forcing f5 through, then you have possibilities to play like bishop e2, rook g1, queen d2, queenside castle, and try to use this open g-file against the king. So that's kind of an interesting system. But none of that actually happened in the game. She played c5, and d5 is pretty standard here. And now a6, and I just wanted to slow down any potential b5 breaks. So knight d7, knight f3, rook to e8. I don't know for sure. I couldn't remember the theory about whether or not the bishop belongs on e2 or d3. So I just put it on d3 to watch over this pawn. And now e6 and castles and takes. If I take here with the c-pawn, we have a direct transposition into a Benoni with bishop g5 played in the Benoni, which is also recommended by Watson, so I think it's okay. But I don't know these positions. I usually play with the bishop on f4, and I suppose bishop f4 here would be possible, and I could pretty much have those positions. But I decided to play takes this way, keeping the pawn structure symmetrical, but I have a space advantage. That's what this basically comes down to. So given that I have a space advantage, she tried to exchange pieces, which I did, and she took with the rook. I think taking with the pawn is not as good just because it gives me this passed pawn, and then I can hop into e4, this knight, pressure on the knight, which is pinned. So taking with the rook I think is not good. I mean, with the pawn is not good. But then I just used this bishop f4 move with tempo. So the rook went back to e8, and now I'm putting pressure on the weak d6 pawn. And now after queen d2, she made this move bishop f5. This struck me as a little bit strange, because she's voluntarily doubling her pawns on the f-file and breaking things up against the king. And I've already lined my bishop and queen up for a possible exchange here on the king's side. I took, and I guess she could argue that she has some control over the e4 square because of this pawn, but I don't think that's really compensation, if you ask me. I think better for her, a better plan would have been queen c7 to protect this pawn, and then bishop d7, at which point, say queen c7, normal move like this, at which point I would say white is slightly better, but maybe there's nothing serious. Probably there's nothing serious in this position. I have a slight space advantage, but, you know, no weaknesses really for black as far as I can tell. So, anyway, this bishop f5 move was interesting. So I took it, and after rook here, queen d7, so that she could retake with the rook if I decided to capture. And so I went for it. And now I'm threatening if she should do nothing to, like a nothing move, to play takes, and then this check, which picks up this unprotected knight. So she has to do something about that threat. So she played knight e4, attacking the queen, attacking the knight. So I took it, and she took with the rook, and then I took the rook, took the bishop, and played queen to g5 check. Now, I was pretty sure at this point I had already earned at least a perpetual check. The idea being that if the king goes here, then there's this check, here, this check, here, this check, here. The king can't really go here because of this check picking up the rook. So there's perpetual check ideas, probably. At least I think there were. Let's see here. I just want to, I think this is still a perpetual, probably. No, this is probably winning, because, well, maybe not. But at least I'm picking up some pawns here, and my position is just very nice. I'll win a couple pawns and get a very nice position out of this. So if she doesn't take the perpetual, I was going to get some pawns there. I had done some calculation, but I decided to try to go for the win with this move, rook to e1. The idea of this rook move is pretty simple. It comes, first of all, with tempo on this pawn, so she has to protect it, because then the king would be cut off from the e-file. And also, the winning idea is to do a rook lift with rook e3 to g3 and try to use the g-file to come in with a mate. So she protected here, and now I spent about 2 minutes, I think, deciding whether or not I should go for the perpetual or not. There's still these perpetual check ideas with this stuff. And if the king tries to get away here, then I at least have taking this pawn, and then this check moves here, here. I mean, I'm at least a pawn up in this endgame. I'm not sure. Maybe I had something stronger, but I thought that I was at least winning a pawn if she tried to get out of the perpetual checks. But maybe this was actually the best, just to go into this queen endgame, a pawn down or something. So, yeah, maybe that was actually the best. But where are we here? Yeah. So after I played rook e1 here, I played this check, and I think she probably should have tried to get away. But she played this move, king to g8. And this move is actually immediately losing. And you see that I spent about almost 2 minutes making sure and checking that I was actually winning. And I was pretty sure I was. I was at least picking up pawns. And I went for it. Another 49 seconds just to make sure, but I went for it. And the threat now is very simply rook to g3. And I didn't think there was a defense, or a good defense, and it actually turns out there wasn't. The only way to avoid being mated in this position is to play the move queen to f5 in order to block and just give up the queen. And now this game is, of course, totally winning for white. Just a queen and a pawn. Or maybe just a queen for a rook. I don't know. Do I have an extra pawn? 4, 5, 6, 7? No. But a queen for a rook is winning enough. Maybe she could have tried on my time here to play here, because I didn't have much time. But anyway, she didn't find this this move, queen f5. Instead, she just played f5. And this is game over now after rook check. She resigns. There's nothing to do. King moves here. Then this is checkmate. And king here. Then queen check is mate in 2. Queen blocks is the only move. So, yeah, just an interesting game, and very exciting for me to take down my first title player, albeit not the strongest one in Blitz, at least. But yeah, I think it just goes back to this decision to play bishop to f5 here. And just weaken the king. She probably could have defended better through here, but I think it was pretty bad nonetheless. So just the last little bit here, this was losing. There was no way to come back after this. I think this is losing at least a couple pawns, but that was the best I think the black could do in that position. So this endgame is completely winning, just 2 pawns up, and after the king moves, and I don't know what I would have played here. Maybe not immediately. Yeah, probably just this. And the king will probably win this pawn, but I suspect that this is a winning endgame with these passed pawns coming in here and pushing the king side. I don't think I'd have to play with some good technique, but anyway, that all didn't happen. So the final nail in the coffin was this king to g8 move, and here was the resign after rook g3 check. So, alright, I enjoyed that game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.